What up, guys? I'm with Ross and with Dave from LTB Boats. And if you guys haven't seen the video, I'm going to put it up here where we rode the 20-footer and the 25-footer. We actually had a lot of fun that day with you guys, and I was super impressed with the boat quality of the boats. I think everybody was that day. So now we get to see how they're actually built. Let's do it. Yeah, let's start with the hull. So basically, this is how boats are made, right?
Correct.
You have a mold, right?
Correct.
And that's what we have over here. Now, Abe, we were talking a little bit earlier about the mold. You guys hand build your molds, right?
Yes.
What does that mean exactly when you hand build your own mold versus one that's not hand built? What does that mean?
So obviously, for us being smaller boat builders, when it comes to building these plugs with CNC, it costs a lot of money. We're talking seven figures. So it's a big investment. For us, we did everything in-house. Yes, it took us longer, but obviously we were able to build it to our specs, the way we want it. There are definitely plug makers out there that build a fantastic product. They build great quality, but obviously there's always that grudge. There's always something that you're not going to like over time. It may look good on paper. There's a lot of comps that come into designing and building a fishing boat, especially.
So here we have, this is where basically the first layer is that gel coat layer, right? So we got gel coat already on there. And they're putting on
here, and now they started laying up all the skateboard and bubble rolling it just to make sure. This is your barrier there. This is what makes sure that you don't have any print through. This is what makes sure that you have this is gonna give you the nicest finish possible.
Now we were briefly talking about the gel coat that you guys use, because it's not just regular gel coat, right? It's you were telling me
There's a lot of gel coats out there, and they all perform differently. They're all better for one thing. We chose the one that fit best the ride that we're looking for the boat. It gives us that absorption of energy throughout the hull. It gives it a much smoother ride than some of the resins that are out there that are a lot stiffer.
Got it. So what type of resin is that we're using here to do this skim coat?
This is an absolute premium ortho resin.
An ortho resin.
This is basically the top of the line ortho resin that we use.
Yeah, and here are the guys. They're actually rolling out all the bubbles right now. So you said you do 2 layers of, was it 1.5 ounces? You said?
Yes.
2 layers of 1.5 ounces. What comes after this?
We use what's called 1708 and 1808. Basically, it's the angle of your strands. So 1808 is a 0.90, and then 1708 is a 45. It takes longer to do it this way because the layers are much skinnier, but you get a much better product, which has a lot more strength in every direction. If you've ever been on some boats out there that they give you a lot of flex while you're hitting waves, especially in a quartering sea, now you know why.
Got it. And how many layers of that are we actually building up? And we're actually just seeing right now the actual the gunwale, right? The gunnel side, right? We still have to do all of this and then the transom as well, right?
The sides of the boat are going to have up to 7 layers of glass. The transom of the boat has 14 layers of glass, and then our cross patches down the center of the boat, we actually go over 12 inches, which is way more than most people take it. So then you would basically have 14 layers in the bottom on your
so
keel as well.
they cross
We
over
cross
each other.
Yes, and all of our crosses are massive to make sure that the whole boat is tied in for strength.
And I see these guys with the flashlights trying to bust out any of those bubbles
Oh yes.
and stuff. Yeah,
We buy flashlights every month.
when do you guys install the actual transom on the boat?
Well, first the whole skin on happens, and then all of our first majors happen.
Okay, so
And then-
let's back up for a second. How long, once everything's laminated in here, how long till you take the actual boat out of the mold?
The average time that we do it in is about 9 days, but we can go as fast as 7 days. We do the transom is done in the mold, the full stringer grid with bulkheads, everything's done in the mold, and we even do our tanks inside the mold.
You do the tanks inside the mold as well, because you foam that in, and that kind of locks everything in place.
And it's bolted to stringers. And we want to make sure that the boat has absolutely no chance of moving whatsoever when we pop it up.
Got it. Okay. Can we show a transom and maybe even show the 32 transom and the difference and how you guys do that? So this is the new 32 hole, right? Right here?
There's our new 32 hull.
So this is going to be at the Palm Beach Boat Show. And we're talking about the transom.
So this boat specifically
Look at that thing.
has almost a 5-inch transom thickness.
Yep.
This boat on the transom has closer to 20 layers of glass.
20 layers of
20
glass
layers
on
of
the
glass,
transom.
and it has 2.5-inch Coosa boards inside of it too.
That's incredible. So Coosa board, that composite material, so you're never going to get rot. And then
No.
how do you sandwich those two pieces together?
So we make sure, instead of going with a thicker piece, which is less flexible and that might not allow us to get every single crevice, mold the Coosa to the crevices. What we do is that we do an 1.5 ounces, a 1708, an 1808, another 1.5 ounces in between, which allows us to sandwich it to the transom much more true than if it were a much thicker piece that has zero flex to it.
That's
Harder
a huge,
for us,
huge
a lot more
transfer.
work for us, a higher quality product.
Absolutely.
Nothing that we do is to go faster. Everything we do is to have a better product.
And this can hold how much? How much weight can this hold? How many motors can this
will
hold?
easily hold 1,000 horsepower.
1,000 horsepower on
Yes,
this 32 foot boat.
This will be rated for much over 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, you're talking about. I mean, you could see how thick the glass is on there. You guys have a bracket on here. Who makes this bracket?
Welding World makes all of our brackets.
This is a really impressive bracket. You were telling me earlier that you guys are now painting these in-house.
Yes, these are painted in. Yeah, we're not powder coating them no more. We are painting them in house. It's again harder, more tedious, more time for us. A better product when it's all said and done. This is an epoxy. It's epoxy primer, and then it's an epoxy single stage paint on top. It also allows us for more customizable, so that we can customize to colors a lot better.
And match the gel coat
Match
on
the
the
gel
boat
coat.
and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's take a look at the 25 transom so they have an idea. This 25 has a different transom than the actual 32, right? It's got like a
Yes.
bump out,
Yes.
right? So how does this transom work? For somebody that may not understand, like how does that work?
Well, because this transom is not flat on the back. It's got a curve to it.
Right.
So this section right here, what it does is it gives you a flat area for your bracket.
Got it. And then the transom doesn't come up all the way to the top.
Exactly.
It stays
That's
there.
where all of your Coosa is in that area right there.
Yeah.
But you see how strong it is tied to that stringer grid. The stringer
see
grid
that.
almost goes to the top of that.
Yeah. What material are you guys using for the stringers? Is it the same Coosa board?
No, it's foam inside the
foam?
stringers, and then it's glassed over. Again, with two majors as well. It's a lot of glass on those stringers.
So how many stringers do you actually have? You have the two
We
big
have-
down the center?
This boat has 2 stringers. The 32 has 4 stringers.
Alright, so we're up here on the top, second floor up here at LTB. Hey, what do we got up here? What parts do you have?
So
these are all smart
these
parts,
are all
right?
Small parts. These are all the hatches to a 25. You got your kill box, you got your front live well, anchor locker, and then all of these are all the storage boxes. All hand built, glass only.
You guys really make use of all your space.
Oh man, we have a 10 city going on.
Everything is covered, man. Everything is where it's supposed to be.
We want to stay being a value product. So to be a value product, we have to make sure that we're controlling our overhead as much as possible.
Exactly. Got the transom. You pop the mold out, right? You pop the boat out of the mold. What's next?
We have to prep the hull, prep all the parts, get all the flanges cut off, get all the, our cleats get installed on cabs, get live wells that are glassed. Our live
Okay.
wells are glassed to the bottom of the liner. Get everything prepped up, and then we set it over here. And then over here, this process right here is already assembled.
So this is the liner, right? That goes
That's
inside?
the liner goes inside.
Because you guys make a three-piece
Three-piece
boat.
boats. All of our boats are
boat.
three-piece. Well, the 20 is a 2-piece boat.
Okay. Now, this is the liner that goes inside. This is the outside part, and then you have the cap that goes on, right?
Yes.
So how do you guys bond this to the actual hull?
This is bonded with a product called RJ, and then on the 25, it is fully glassed from beginning to end. We glass.
Fully glass.
Yes, we fully glass the floor to the stringer grid.
So you guys go inside all the hatches. You guys are laminating upside down to bond everything together.
So as you can see, if you can look from this angle right here, you can see that midsection compartment, how it's all, you see it get grinded off right there.
Mhm. Yep.
They physically get in every single compartment and cap all the way around with glass.
Nice.
We also glass our caps to the hull, which is very unique as well.
Incredible. That's super strong. And then I see that there's a gap here, but this gap is for a reason.
Yes.
Right.
So this gap right here will get a 2-part foam, and then it will get glassed over.
So on top of the foam, we're glassing it as well.
Yep.
And it's bonded and then glassed as well.
Exactly.
And then the cap goes on. Can you show us a cap? Can we see a cap?
Let's take a look at the 32 cap.
Yeah, we can do that.
There it is.
So
There it is.
what he's talking about in glassing the this part right here. So I think this is the first time I've ever seen this on an actual boat where they glass this
These
part.
are the little things that nobody sees.
Yeah.
And this is really what semi-custom boat building is all about.
Yeah, this one makes a difference.
This is what makes the difference. This is not a boat that's put together in a week.
Yeah, you're not gonna get any water intrusion there. And you can see that it's already scuffed up and ready for that cap to be
A lot
put
of our
in.
customers are buying boats in their retirement age, and they expect that boat to be the last boat that they buy. So that's a pretty high responsibility that we hold, and we take that seriously.
I like that. I like that. Let's take a look at the 32 cap. And this is the cap. Now this is ready to go in.
So today they'll be installing cleats on it. We install our cleats before we install the cap.
Much easier, right?
And then we gotta install the live wall, which gets glassed underneath to make sure you have no leaks. And then it'll be ready to set it.
I see. And then how do you guys bond that under here? Because I see that this is all already scuffed up and ready to go.
Screw it, so this will get screwed to the hull, but then it'll get bonded throughout all of the gunnel supports, on all the bulk and the back and front bulkheads. This is our own design, completely handmade.
Yeah, because how long did it take you to make this
Almost
design?
2.5 years. We've been at this for almost 2.5 years. Yes.
And that's, changing this, fixing that.
Yes. Yeah,
Right?
We had a whole liner done, right? That we cut all the.
We had a whole liner done that we completely cut up.
We got inside the boat and we're happy. We wanted the hatches to be different. We wanted our layout different, and we chose to cut it all up and start all over.
Really?
Yeah, it was loss of thousands of dollars, but we want a boat that people are going to be proud to own.
So let's get into some of the details. So if we can talk maybe about the hatches and stuff, because I know you guys built some heavy duty hatches. I was looking at earlier. You guys have hatches that are made of pure fiberglass. They don't even have pouring material on them.
No.
So let's take a look at those guys.
Only the fish box one, and and our coring is done after the laminating schedule. So it's more for installation purposes.
I see.
But you can see here that these are already sanded. We're in the process of finishing them up to buff them.
Nice. Yeah, these are pure glass. That's a heavy piece.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
So the cool thing here at LTB, everybody has a different responsibility. You got finishing, you got assembly, you got riggers, you got laminators, and obviously we got plug makers. These guys here have a talent like no other. These guys built all these hatches completely from scratch. Everything.
That's crazy.
This is our CIA.
This is our CIA. Anything that we ask to get built, whether it's the most craziest thing or the most simplest thing, they don't even say no. We can get it done.
That's amazing. I've been to a few other boat manufacturers factory, and the heart of the company really is the employees, right? Because without them,
We're nothing without our team.
Yeah.
Our team is everything to us.
And that was one thing I noticed when I came here this morning. Everybody's happy,
Yes.
and everybody looks like they wanted to be here.
And we pride ourselves
Yeah,
on that. Big time.
I thought that was
We're
really cool.
super family oriented.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
We work Mondays to Thursdays. They have three-day weekends.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of work. It's hard work. We're in the sun a lot.
Yeah.
And you need people to be happy doing it. And
That's really cool to hear. I'm sure they really appreciate that.
absolutely.
So we talked about the hatches. We've talked about the cap. We've talked about the hull. Is there anything else that we're missing? I know you guys have consoles as well.
We have a lot of parts here. These are different things that we've been testing, and sometimes that's a plug that we have up there.
And
Every boat company, has its boneyard.
yeah, and you know what? I've noticed too that one of the things that's hard to come by in these boat companies is space.
Oh,
You can never have enough space,
you
right?
can never have enough space, and it's
Yeah.
one of the reasons boat building is so expensive.
Yeah.
It requires a lot of square footage.
One of the things that I noticed that sets you guys apart from a lot of people is you do things very old school.
Yes.
And you guys pride yourselves in being old school. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So talk to us a little bit about that and what your theory or what your mindset is.
Just look at the type of boats that people look at the nostalgic boats that people want to buy to restore. They weren't made in the 2000s. They were made in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So
Yeah.
obviously they were doing something right. Those boats are still alive today. A lot of people running them still with two-stroke engines on the back.
True.
So we have modernized our builds. We've modernized our layouts big time. We've modernized our weight distribution for the power, for the more modern power. Our layouts are really thought a lot by all the fishing guys that we work with. So many fishing guys. So I don't know too many companies of our size that are working with the amount of captains that we work with is crazy. We have people that are willing to drive over here all the way from the Keys just to help us with the layout
That's
of
incredible.
the 32. So that's the level of support that we have. It's pretty astonishing.
It's a family.
It's a family.
It's a family. It's more than anything, you know. And I think that these boats, a lot of people that are buying these boats know about the boat. It's
Yeah.
a proven hull. It's going to do anything you want it to do. As you saw in Miami, you can put the boat in a quartering seat, take your hand off the wheel, and there's no bow movement. The bow stays straight. And I think in today's world, the way we're living, and I think there's a lot of good boats out there, but I think there's a lot of cheating ways to make a boat ride good.
I've seen that. I think people ultimately will see that. They just need to get on an LTB and really see the difference, you know?
I mean, we're going to be, especially now with the new 32 model that's new to us and not so many people know us about it, we're going to be holding a lot of C-Tri events. And all those C-Tri events we're definitely dragging along the 25 as well. So.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I think a lot of people, especially people that are first boat buyers, I think they need to take their time, go through boats. You know, there's a lot of production boats out there. There's some good production boats. There's not so good production boats.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're looking at the same price for a semi-custom boat.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like buying a Chevy and then buying a Ferrari, right? You're dealing directly with the people at Ferrari.
Right.
Where you're buying a Chevy and you can just pick one up anyway.
Yeah, true. So you guys have 3 different models. You have the 20 footer, right?
The 20 flats,
20 flat,
the 25 offshore that a lot of people call a hybrid,
and the new
and
32.
the new 32 offshore.
What can we talk about a little bit? Just maybe the pricing more or less. Doesn't have to, because you guys are semi-custom and it could be as expensive as you want it to be. Maybe give a range of how much each one of those models cost, just to give an idea.
Oh, I mean, a 20 will probably run you can build a 20 for under 100 grand.
Okay.
On the water, electronics, stereo, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
Our average 25 goes between what, like 170, 190?
170, 190. There's some of the simpler builds, like there's a boat in here that's 160, 155. So boats bounce around, and honestly, I pay more attention to detail when it comes to the production. I ask the guy, what's your budget? What are you trying to work with? Are you okay with these bilge pumps to save you some money here? Are you okay with these electronics to save you here? So I'm not forcing them with one standard electronic package. I'm working with them, trying to match and get within their budget.
Yeah. Good. And then the 32.
32 is probably from the guys that we've been working with now. We have, you know, we're almost in the double digits right now on deposits on that boat. So we have almost a year's worth of production already on the
Amazing.
books. The guys that we've been talking to, you can build it for higher mid 200s, but the average boat's probably going to come in at about 300 to 320.
So that's only about 100 grand more than the 25.
Correct.
But you're getting a whole.
It's by far the best deal.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge jump from 25 to 34,
massive
right?
jump.
It's a massive jump.
It's-
So you're getting a
I mean,
whole
just
lot of boat
standing
for
in the
100 grand.
The 25 with engine on it, completely rigged, fits inside of the 32.
That's wild. Guys, so I also noticed that you guys have Mercury, Suzuki. What motors do you guys rig your boats with? What,
We're Mercury exclusive.
Mercury
So
exclusive.
anything that comes from LTB is a Mercury, but clients are more than welcome to rig out the boat with whatever motor they want.
Hey, Ross, thank you guys so much for inviting us over and letting us film and really, you know, not hiding anything. You guys have nothing out. You showed us everything, that says a lot about you
We
guys.
didn't even clean up before you guys.
Yeah, you guys didn't even clean up. Like, these poor guys, they were like trying to sweep up. Hey, just leave it the way it is, which is awesome. So guys, they're gonna be at Palm Beach Boat Show,
Yes.
right? Are you guys gonna be doing sea trials there or no?
No, we won't be doing sea trials, but we'll definitely be inside the show, and everybody's welcome to come chat it up with us and take a look at the boats and get you guys priced out.
Sounds good. Well, you guys heard it. I'm gonna put all their information in the description down below. Give them a call if you're looking for an LTB, and I'll see you guys on the next one.